Welcome back to Independence Showcase, writing on season three, episode four. Now, during this podcast, I will probably get this lady's name wrong. I hope that I don't, for my sake, because she's a tough cookie. I saw her at DKW for the first time, and poor Lilith, who's our guest, when I first met her, ended up taking a cross body from Jaden Williams during the show,
Yeah.
a little bit before I saw you recently. But first things first, it is Lilith Diaz. Lilith, welcome to the show.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
for
you. Nice to be
taking.
here.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on and taking your time out your day to talk to me. First things first, look, 2025 for you though, how has that been? We're coming to the end of 2025 now, so how has your
Yeah.
wrestling year been?
I think just more grinding, just constantly training everything. I've had so many hardships, so it's just mainly been train, 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 just keep getting in there and just doing what I love because this is what I love doing. So,
I mentioned Jaden. He's been wrestling quite a while, actually. I mean, you
yeah.
wouldn't know that. He looks like a puppy, but he's not. He's really experienced what he does. But you mentioned their training, but it is also a part of the training, learning and learning from someone like Jaden Williams, who's actually had that experience and done quite a lot in wrestling already.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if it wasn't for Jaden, I don't think I would have gotten this far. Um, like Jaden has been, I think, when I say like a brother, I literally mean like a brother. He's literally taken me under his wing and then it's just gone like put her on shows basically. They just do all these things, and he's also helping me understand as well, which I think is the most fundamental part of just wrestling in general. But Jaden is just unbelievable. I don't even know what to say about Jaden, to be honest. He's just, I don't even know.
Swift Sonic, maybe you'd be
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah.
By
I mean,
nature. Yeah.
yeah,
He is.
yeah,
He's tremendous. He'll be back. He'll be back with us at Ignite actually in February when we come
yeah.
back. We won't be in my match. I can announce the match because by the time this goes out, it will be already announced. So that's great. Yeah, I was just thinking about that for later on. But like when you're training nowadays, there is a lot of wrestling schools around now. I know one quite local to
Mm.
me in Essex, Sky Smithson does it at Cobra
Yes.
Wrestling Academy. Nowadays, is it more accessible? Like, so I'm sort of, older than 40, and when I was around, there really wasn't like many. There was few and far. There was drop kicks was still there. It was
Yeah.
imperfectly in the time, but is it now more accessible to learn? And even more so with the generation now. Can you do some of this online, or is it more you've still got to get in there and grind in the ring?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. Very accessible. There's a lot more coming around. I mean, like I said, Sky Smithson,
Mhm.
like one of the best women, if not the best woman at the moment. So there's that. But like, I think wrestling's more accessible because there are growing in companies.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I think online you can only go so far with. You have to get in. If you really want to do it, you have to get in and just, like I said, grind just constantly. You've got to get gritty and down to actually understand what it's like to actually do it. But
Yeah, it isn't just this is you and this is what you do in these moves. There's so much more to like. There's obviously the piecing of the match, which you've got to learn. There is obviously
oh yeah,
the facial side. The camera's on you, so you've got to learn to do that. There is the selling side. There is, and you can go and watch. I mean, when I was growing up in the 90s and 2000s, I was studying Ric Flair's matches in the 80s and
yeah,
Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, for argument's sake, prime example. Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat, and you get to learn a lots of that psychology wise. You can't really teach that by watching a video. You
no.
have to kind of be in there with somebody, as you say, someone like a Jaden who knows a lot and does a lot of wrestling. So there is so much. And how do you kind of what differentiates you from what we see in the ring, if anything?
Like from me and just who you see in the ring, like
Yeah,
me as a
exactly.
person.
You and your quote unquote character.
Well, I'm not really. I don't think I'm as. Can I swear on this?
Yes.
I don't think I'm as bitchy as what maybe people think. Um, I mean, it's what I play, it's kind of what I've been told to do and what I'm very natural at, but I don't think I'm as bitchy. If anything, if you come up and ask for a hug, I'll probably give you one, but as Lilith, probably no. But yeah, I think she's just more outspoken.
Hmm.
Like if we're gonna completely separate these two people. She's
Yeah.
a lot more outspoken and she just hates everything. Me, I'm a bit more reserved, don't really like talking to people. Not in a horrible way,
No.
just a bit more antisocial. But yeah, I think the main thing is just that I'm not as much of a bitch as I like to think.
But at the same time, do you enjoy playing that bitch because you're not, it
Oh,
is kind of separate to
yeah.
what you are?
Yeah. It's kind of like getting the parts of your brain that you wouldn't be able to use outside and just putting it in the ring. Like
Mm.
if I genuinely hated someone but I couldn't say it, I'd let it all out in the ring. Like that
Yeah.
is where you put everything.
That is interesting because sometimes they say the best characters are pretty much you just amped
Yeah.
to that level. But in your case, you're kind of like, yes, but there's this other side, the bitchiness side that
Mm.
not everyone sees until I'm in that 20, well, not even 24, but
Yeah.
25 sides of that ring is, or I'm around the outside with Jaden. So in your case, you've kind of got the best of both worlds in terms of your
Yeah.
character. Yes, there is that bit that's you and will always be you. But then there's that other side of you that
Yeah.
we only see in that wrestling ring.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
brilliant. That is awesome. I like that. Growing up though, when did you first start watching or noticing or taking an interest in wrestling? Maybe not necessarily that you wanted to do it, but you wanted that you're watching it, if you did.
Well, oh, I did know that when I was born in 2007. I know I'm
Yeah.
very young. My dad loved wrestling like so much, and from what I know, probably sat me down as a baby and made me watch it. That's all I know. But I think my first memories of just actually watching it and being intrigued by it was I think about 2012
Mhm.
NXT
Yeah.
FCW type times. Um, as when I came across Paige, who's like my favorite wrestler, and then I was like, okay, this is kind of like, especially as a young girl as well, you watch someone like Paige and you're like, oh, this is something completely different to like no offense to Trish Stratus, but like a blonde, like
Mhm.
kind of Trish Stratus-y type diva at the time. So it was really nice to see that. So I think that's kind of where I was like, I mean, from her, I did want to start wrestling, but even before then, it got me intrigued straight away. I was like, oh, women can do it as well, but also the storylines were just yeah, I loved the storylines. I'm a big theatre nerd as well, so like that's for me. The acting a bit cringy at times, but it was very intriguing for me. So I think
You made
that's
it quite interesting because Paige played the exact person that you kind of say that you are in a way where you don't like. You mentioned the sort of antisocial side and bits and pieces. Like, well, Paige was exactly that. She played the anti-diva, the person that
yeah,
didn't really like everybody. It's a bit like what you were saying about the person that you technically are in a way that you're not, that the character isn't, it's just you. So you can't, so
yeah.
Paige, I suppose, in a way, more was exactly the character that you either are or want to be in a lot of ways.
I in some ways, yeah. I mean, it's a mixture of other things as well, but I think yeah, she for me is like I love Paige, so there are a lot of similarities. Maybe not by like intention, but yeah, probably.
If you follow her brother on social media, he does a quality jacket potato from what I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, I do know that. Yeah, I've
I
seen.
haven't been. I want to. He's been on the show a couple of times, as Zach.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, we've had him a few times. He's been a great guy to be on the show. But yeah, I need to go and see a jacket, but I need to go and taste one of his potatoes. But in terms of Paige, yeah, I mean, hopefully next year she'll be returning to wrestling. There's always rumors around, obviously, that
Yeah,
she's going to go back to WWE. We'll see. I mean, obviously, with that though, there's obviously the injury side, and they've got to be careful. I'm sure
yeah, yeah.
that they will. But when was it that moment where you actually thought, you know what? I mean, it can't have been too long. I mean, what you're now 18, 19, yeah,
I've
18.
literally just turned 18, so
So you're literally now
yeah.
legal to drink, other than
Yes.
having. You probably still have to show ID, but when it comes to a point where you thought actually, and it couldn't have been too long ago, I want to do this. When did that sort of start getting into that?
Um, I think I was well, I was about 14, 15.
Yeah.
Obviously always loved it, but I think I really wanted to be an actress when I was little. But I remember I was on a caravan holiday with my family, and um, I was like, oh, I was saying to my dad, I was like, I wouldn't actually mind doing this. Like, I really want to do it. He was showing me videos of Will Ospreay because he really loved Will
Hmm.
Ospreay.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you want to go for it, go for it. And I've never seen him like so happy in my life. But yeah. And funny enough, when you mentioned Zach, as we were at that caravan park, like the WAW company were there, and he was
Oh,
there wrestling, same as I think is it Roy and I and
yeah.
their nephew, they were all wrestling there. So I was like, this is a sign to do it for me. Um, but yeah, I think that was that, and then I kind of was like, I'll go and do it. Loved it. Like I wasn't good at it, but I was like, this is something that I am willing to actually try in and enjoy, and I did. So, I mean, it's brought me up to here. So,
And
yeah,
now you're here, and now you're
I'm
doing
here.
shows at we're on here, yeah, and then you're doing shows at DKW as well. Other shows, well,
Yeah,
it's just the shows that I've seen you at.
yeah,
We're gonna move away from you for a minute, and we're gonna move on to some random stuff. So what I like with wrestlers, and it's quite funny. I had a couple of AEW guys on last week, and I was doing
nice.
controversial British foods. And we had
Oh, cool.
haggis, and anyway, I was talking to him about how what these foods are, whether they'd like 'em. We're not going to do that with you. We're going to keep it strictly wrestling. You
Nice.
obviously are English, obviously, so there's no point in me putting haggis up and stuff like. 'Cause you're going to know what it is for a
Yeah.
start. So we're going to talk wrestling. And the first question, and this does stump a lot of people. It's stumped wrestlers and everyone that we've had on, and it's if you had to select your top three wrestling theme songs. Well, three. If you could only have three theme
Oh,
songs on your Spotify, what are they going to be?
oh, okay. I'd say Mickey James Hardcore Country is probably up there
Yeah,
because I actually do listen to that quite often. Um, I do love Here to Show the World from Dolph Ziggler.
yeah, that was good.
So that's another one. I think the third one, oh, I think Lita's one probably. It's one long word. Don't remember the
Yeah,
name. It's like Love,
yeah,
Fury, Passion or something.
yeah.
That's probably I think those are my three.
Yeah,
Just
I
off the
thought you
top of
was
my
going to talk. I was going to say this man with his
head.
Taylor James.
Considering I did team with him, I probably should have, but
Well, you did team with him, but it kind of went off the rails near
yeah.
the end. Near
Well,
the end of that, I'm sure we haven't heard the last of it. I'm sure Jaden's still spitting feathers after what happened on that one. But yeah, we won't say anything now. Going off the back of that, and this is a bit more of an interesting one because some people answer this with their favorite wrestlers. Some people go into a bit more detail. But if you had a dinner for free, so you could invite three wrestling personalities to have dinner with, who would the three people be and why?
oh, okay. Um, oh, that's a bit of a hard one. I'd say Jeff Hardy would probably be pretty fun to be at a dinner party, I'd
Only with
say.
these younger wrestlers, guys. That's the name that everyone says.
Yeah, okay. Another one. Oh, I'd say Bray Wyatt. I don't know why.
Interesting.
I thought he's the
Yeah.
first one that came to my head. And then I think, oh, I don't know. I'd probably have to say Paige just because I feel like
You had to now.
I've got to have someone there I've got to talk to.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt, great. From a mind perspective, fantastic. He was great.
Yeah.
He had kind of everything.
Yeah.
Mine's always kind of the same. Mine's Paul Heyman.
Okay.
Uh, I
Okay.
have, yeah, a guy that I've had on the show quite a bit, Eric Bischoff. I would love to.
Okay.
I've had it. I mean, I've spoke to him for like 3 hours on here before, but to have dinner would be something, and probably someone like Stone Cold or Triple H, one or two. I don't know,
Okay. Yeah.
or the
Yeah. Okay.
Undertaker. Again, purely from the mind perspective. I do a controversial one. I throw Jim Cornette and Vince Russo in there. Just I don't think we could get a table with them two, but anyway, you know. What every year when the pay-per-view schedule comes out for wrestling, what is that one pay-per-view that you're always looking to see when it's out? It's ready.
Or Elimination Chamber probably.
Ooh.
Or a
No,
Royal Rumble.
that's it. See, you're the first one that didn't say Royal Rumble first. Everyone has
Okay.
said Rumble, so the limit. No, I'm happy with that because it's
Yeah.
interesting that someone would say. It's quite maybe that's the generational thing, right? Because when I started growing up, the Royal Rumble I think was like Royal Rumble one, was when
Yeah.
when I first that's really bad to think about that. But when I was growing up, it was always I always loved it. It was always the one where I
Yeah.
didn't know. where I didn't know what was going on or anything like that. That was interesting. Is it the
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber is more of something that's come around
Yeah.
recently? So it's quite interesting. Elimination Chamber. I do like that. That is a good thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
if you could pick a triple threat match that you could go, anybody can be in, right? I'm not. We don't care. It doesn't have to be Brick Rest. It's you against. Sorry, Fate Four. You against three others. Who are you picking?
I'd love to pick Sky, just because I
Yeah.
love Sky Smithson. Um, Probably this is this is a bit one where like she's everywhere, but Mercedes Moné. I love Mercedes Moné.
Okay.
And yeah. And oh, okay. I'd probably say, do you know what? Rhea Ripley, I'd love to be in the ring with at some point. But I feel like everyone
Nice.
loves Rhea Ripley, so that's a given. Um, I think those are my three, yeah, probably.
Interesting. Monet though, come on. No, I can't. I can't. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I have to. I'm not a fan. But look, that is what it is. That's the beauty of it, right? You can be who fans of people, and you don't have to
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
everybody, right? That's the best part. But look, we're going to move on to those are the three questions, and you've answered actually them quicker than some of the other wrestlers do. So
I'm
you've
surprised. I'm surprised. Usually I take
smashed
quite long, but we got there.
smashed it. You absolutely smashed it. But look, 2026 is right around the corner. In terms of like your goals and aspirations, do you set long-term goals or do you just take things as they come? And what are the goals for 2026 for you?
I think long-term goals I try and set, but I try not to give myself too high of an expectation
Hmm.
because otherwise, things happen or whatever. I think short-term ones though is like travel around as like especially just England, but also go to France or whatever else. Um, I'd love to just wrestle more, if I'm being honest, which sounds like a very basic answer, but wrestling I love it so much. So I think that's probably my thing. Long-term ones probably get on TV. Doesn't matter what company. I love every company, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I think just wrestle more is the main goal, and it's about it really. I think that's like the goal is
Yeah,
just keep
no,
doing it.
get on there and get onto a load of different shows all over the country
Yeah.
would be, that's a great goal. And to be honest, it's quite level-headed. I mean, I've had a few on here, and he won't mind me mentioning it. Tommy Tanner, he said to me, my goal is the WWE. It was as
Oh,
simple as that.
fair enough.
And I was
Reach for
like,
the
that's
stars.
fine. Yeah, well, so I've never known someone been in wrestling a year that can do the stuff he can do. So I don't know that
Fair enough.
maybe it is. But I do like I just want to wrestle more, get more matches
Mm.
under the belt, get more experience out there. And from what I've seen of you in the ring, you're one bad bitch anyway. So it's
Thank
really
you. I appreciate
it
that.
it was good. I mean, I mentioned at the start of the show that when I saw Lilith the first time you took a dive from Jaden Williams on, and bear in mind
Yeah.
this was the outside of the ring, guys, and there's no padding around. This was
No padding, just
concrete,
pure wood floor.
pure wood flooring over in Southend on Sea, and Jaden doesn't exactly hold back when he's flying out of rings either.
Of course it's
Uh,
not, no.
he took off like a rocket, and you took that full pump. I remember there was women in front of me, there was girls in front of me. They had this collective scream when you
Oh
hit the
yeah.
floor,
I
and I
heard
was
I
just
heard
like,
it as well.
okay. But you took it really well, and I'm interested to see what's next for you, even if it's. Well, it'll be at DKW probably when I see you next. So I don't know
Yeah.
what the plans are. Like I said, we just come off of the last show there with Taylor, this man right here, having
Yeah.
was meant to be on your team and decided to
I
well,
don't know what happened there. I wasn't in the ring, so I couldn't save
no,
him. I'm sorry.
you wasn't. But funny enough, my next guest, Regan Blade, was in the
Ah,
ring, and
you
he
can
was.
ask him.
I will ask him. Yeah, I'll definitely ask him. But look, if promotions are out, and we do have promotions watching the show that are interested in booking you and getting you on, where can they reach you? How can they reach out to you to do that?
Mainly my Instagram. It has all my information on there. Lilith Diaz, PW. I think that's how it is.
Yeah,
That's the main thing, just on there. Like I said, emails on there, whatever else. That's my main one.
that is the main one. And if you
The
if
main
you've
one.
got anything that you can announce that you've got coming up, because I know sometimes you have to keep things hush hush. But if you've got other than the DKW in March, is there any? Are you there in January that you know of at the minute?
Um, Not ones I can say, but I
Okay,
do have quite a lot planned, especially for next year.
good.
But
Yeah,
they're not fully planned yet, so we'll leave them. But yes,
we'll keep
there's
them
stuff.
on. We'll keep them on the D-low. But as we wrap up, guys, I need to thank AEW for Preston Vance and Bishop Khan last week. I need to thank TNA for Tasha Steeles, who I interviewed last night ahead of their big television deal in America, and of course ahead of Genesis as well. And the Turnbuckle Championship match for Ignite has indeed been announced for Chapter 5. Our champion, Aluna, will be going one-on-one, and this was a demand, not a request, from a person who was actually in her last match, who didn't get pinned and felt that Aluna robbed him of that victory. And that is Chris Aries. So Aluna, Chris Aries, one-on-one. I still can't get Chris Aries to smile, and that probably won't be the case. I called him Mr. Happy for a shoot because he never smiles in anything that I see him. But he may get a chance to be the first ever Triple Crown winner at Ignite, because he did win the breakout, he did win the Ignite Championship, and now he gets his one-on-one, his rightful opportunity at a one-on-one match with Aluna on February the 15th. If I had it my way, it would be St. Valentine's Day Massacre, but it's not. It's Chapter 5 for Ignite. Get yourself down to Shenley Road. Tickets are available at 96 Eventbrite. Type in Ignite Wrestling. You will see Chapter 5 there. Jaden will be there as well. I actually don't know what he's doing at the minute, to be fair. I
No
haven't
one
got
ever
the.
knows.
To be fair, I did have the card, but I don't know. I haven't got it to hand, so I don't know what it is. But we'll see him there. Lilith will see you. Well, I will see you in March, hopefully in March, back at
Hopefully, yes.
for Loaded. Now, apparently at Loaded, we get to choose everything, and it's down to us, the fans, at Loaded. So that's going to be fun
Yeah,
and games. What we're going to
yeah,
do.
fun for us.
I tell you what you can do. I'll put you in there so you can slap the shit out of Peter Miller.
Do you know what? You don't even need to ask me. But you
I
can
don't
put
know.
it
I'm just
in
not a
him.
fan. I'm not a fan. And I know he watches this shit because he's talking about it before. I'm not a fan of Peter Miller. But there you go. Slap the shit out of him for me at Loaded. But guys, look, Lily's told you where you can book her. Get her on the shows. 18, 19 years old. The sky's only one way. Well, the sky's the limit for you. And there's only one way you're going to go, and that is up. So I hope to see you in a lot more in 2026. I certainly will, definitely at some shows, but I hope to see you more. But for Lilith Diaz, I've been your host, Adam Cousins. You've been watching Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. And until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.